Welcome to Bleav in 76ers with your hosts, former 76ers point guard Eric Snow and two Sixers fanatics in Marcus and Teja Dash. Bleav in 76ers is presented by betonline.ag.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, college basketball to NHL and UFC, BetOnline is the number one sports betting source for the new year. From touchdowns to three-pointers and hat tricks, BetOnline has you covered on every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here. Want to make some quick cash during the rest of the NFL playoffs? There's still time to embrace your inner underdog. Over the last 4 weeks, we have given 15 selections and have cashed on 13 of them, predicting higher or lower on multiple different player statistics. So we are ready to continue this heater into the conference championship and beyond. So if you've yet to download the Underdog app, do so now and get free cash. Click the link in the description or use promo code CHIEFCONCERNS, that's one word, to claim your free pick plus first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. It's conference championship weekend, so let's continue to keep the good vibes in 2025. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Bleav in 76ers podcast. I'm Marcus Dash here, legendary 76ers point guard Eric Snow, and my brother Teja Dash. Guys, the Sixers are surging. They are surging at the right time, right when a lot of Sixers fans wanted to. Sorry, I almost said Chiefs. I can't be saying Chiefs on.
No, yeah, bad week to do that.
Yeah, not on these airwaves right now. But Sixers, a lot of people wanted to sell. They wanted to sell last week. They were all about Cooper Flagg, Isaiah Bailey, and now we're talking about possible trade targets. Talking about 6th seed now, so things are looking pretty good in Philadelphia world. How you guys feeling about the recent wins?
Terrific. I mean, that's what we kind of was hoping for. Just getting some victories and trying to at least secure a play in, and hopefully, like you said, trying to get to that 6th spot. If we can do that and put ourselves in position, and then hopefully guys get healthier, then we feel when healthy, guys playing well, we can compete for the things that we aspire. So I'm definitely excited that one, we beat some good teams, and also you took care of home, because we have to do that. It's already tough on the road, but you take care of home court and in the playoff status teams that we beat, definitely gives us a lot of hope and a lot of confidence.
Yeah, it was a string of good games and I think tie for our longest win streak, but all 4 teams this time are either play-in or play-off teams. So that's another impressive thing. We didn't just beat like bottom feeders. We actually beat, good teams. We have a pulse. We have a pulse again.
Yeah.
We're alive.
Surgeon, baby. We are surgeon. And obviously we'll get into the games this weekend. So 2 more games. I mean, the schedule, we talked about a couple last week, how hard the schedule was coming up. And, we've pretty much aced the test so far, but we'll see how this weekend goes. But let's talk about what we've seen over the last few games. So 2 big wins against Western Conference playoffs teams. And these are games without 5 or 6 of our guys. I mean, we're shorthanded as can be still, which also shows how impressive these wins are. So the same squad that was struggling to beat like lottery teams is now able to handle playoff teams or play-in teams, the ones we've beaten over the last week or so. What do you attribute this to? Because I've seen some people online say, Nurse kind of got after the guys after the Nuggets game last week, where it showed there was a lack of effort there, and he kind of got into the guys. And since then, we've been on this win streak. But what do you attribute this to, and what are you seeing out there that we haven't seen over the last few weeks, and that we have been seeing over the last week?
Well, I mean, I think first off, Maxi's played well. That kind of helps you out. And I believe that the guys, that the role players have played their roles. I think Eric Gordon has been huge.
Yep.
And his ability to shoot the ball and stretch the court makes it a little easier, better for Maxey. But I think they're defending. I think their energy's better. Collectively, they're just playing a good group. I mean, good basketball right now. And in the NBA, if you can play good basketball and your energy level is there, sometimes if you can outwork a team or your energy level is higher, even if they have more talent on the court, you can kind of almost equalize that with the energy and effort and defensive effort. And then you get to the fourth quarter or whatever, and you know, you can play with just about anybody for 10 to 12 minutes, one quarter. That's why you don't see a lot of separation in the majority of the games in the first quarter, because you can do that for a quarter. So we're just putting ourselves in position to win games late, and fortunately for us, the last couple we have. So you want to, can we maintain that? Hopefully. It's going to be tough. I mean, like we talked about the schedule, and guys had to continue to play well. We had to give our young guys some credit for coming out and competing and bringing that energy as well. So I just think, for the most part, guys are just competing, and that's all you can ask for. So I think you do that, and things have gone your way. With the Lakers, we beat them, but Anthony Davis going out was huge. So. And then the Kings are very beatable, as you can see with their record. I mean, they're a good team, but they're also a beatable team. So you want to take advantage of that, and we did.
I think it's a few reasons. I attribute this to, one of them is the guys are finally playing together long enough to have some built-up chemistry and continuity. We had guys just in and out. It was a different lineup all the time. It's just really hard, especially with a brand new team. Like, these guys are playing together for the first time, and they can never play like 2 or 3 games in a row together. So I just feel like guys are getting more comfortable with their roles. They're getting more familiar with their roles. They're knowing where their guys are. The team defense has improved. Offensive flow has improved. It's funny, with the limited guys we have available, you see how much better the play is when they're comfortable with each other. They just look like they're having more fun out there too. This is why like Memphis played so well last year, because they were down so many guys, but it was the same group of guys playing together for a long period of time. They got used to playing together. And if you're a well-coached team and you're playing together, you'll beat teams, like, even though you're not as talented as the other team, right? I just think you have time to build rapport with each other. I think the other thing is too, I think there was a lot of positive regression that was coming our way eventually. We talked about how guys were ice cold. That wasn't going to last. Like, Maxey was shooting well below his career averages. Eric Gordon didn't just lose his 3-point shot. I mean, like, these are guys that have – Gordon's been doing this for 10 plus years at shooting like around 40% from 3. He wasn't going to continue shooting in the low 30s, right? Maxey wasn't going to continue shooting 30% from 2. It just wasn't going to last. So you see that changing, right? Gordon, 14 average the last 4 games. He's shooting 50% from 3 in the last 20 games. I mean, that's not going to last either, but at least it's averaging out now, right? He'll be around his career average when it's all said and done. Maxey too. Maxey's just playing lights out, and Kelly Oubre's playing great, averaging 20 over his last 4 games, averaging, I believe, around 10 rebounds and about 4 assists his last 4 games. So not forcing the 3 as much, just playing within his means, a high percentage 2-point shot. I just think all the guys have just elevated their games, and they're getting used to playing with each other. I hope we can sustain this once again. Well, I don't want to start from scratch all over again when we start getting our other guys back, but we are probably going to go through a slight transitionary period when Embiid comes back and then George comes back when everyone's together again. But it has to happen. They have to get used to playing with each other too.
And also, too, talk about the young guys. I know we talked about it last week or 2 weeks ago. Justin Edwards, Dembona getting more playing time and looking really good as the young guys get more minutes. They look more confident. Ricky Council has been fantastic over the last few games. Yeah. And also, too, you guys both mentioned Eric Gordon. Talk about another veteran that is finally starting to get a little bit more playing time is Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson, who was a guy like, even when Lowry's out, he wasn't really getting much playing time. They were going with Doughton before they were going with Jackson. And now he's getting more minutes, and he looks pretty good too. So, that's kind of the combination of the vets and the young guys all stepping up over the last few games. And I think Reggie Jackson hasn't really been spoken about that much, even on the show, but Reggie Jackson's looked pretty good.
Yeah, Reggie Jackson has a history of showing up in moments when his number's called. even when he's not playing. So that doesn't surprise me. So yes, if I had to pick a guy that I felt could sit out and play and be effective, he would probably be that guy. So that's, I don't want to say that's expected, but that's something that doesn't surprise me, that he's able to come, which isn't easy to do, to sit out and then play and then sit out, but he is a guy that's been able to be successful with that.
Just to illustrate what I said a minute ago, Gordon through October and November, 23.5% from three. Now he's at 50. So he's literally doubled his 3-point percentage. It's crazy. And shooting more. So it's a higher clip and shooting better.
Yeah.
Well, also you're bearing the lead there. The real story, since Eric Gordon got a tooth surgery, he's been shooting lights out. And I think it was like the last week of December he got the surgery, and then ever since 2025, he's been on a tear, averaging 15 points in the new year. So thank God for that tooth surgery. Yeah. All right, so going to another part of this. So obviously, trade deadline coming up next week, February 6th on Thursday. So we're almost there at the deadline. Last week, the talk was sell. Sixers aren't going anywhere, sell. And now it seems like buy. It's time to buy a little bit, even though there's still reports of teams checking in on Caleb Martin, teams checking in on Yabusele, teams checking in on Eric Gordon even. But right now, it seems like we are going to kind of rally for the playoffs. But if we're to talk about a target, a player, a certain player, or a skill set that this team needs when we're all healthy and when we're all healthy, what player are you guys kind of targeting skill set wise? I know some fans have thrown around Herb Jones or Cam Johnson, which I don't know how feasible that is with Cam Johnson's contract, but those are the type of players that a lot of fans have thrown out there. But I'm just curious what kind of skill set you guys are particularly looking for.
So skill set,
yeah.
I mean, skill set is shooting for me. Shooting with size, preferably. Yabusele's played well, but he's really the only big that we have that shoots it. I mean, you can consider Paul a big, but he doesn't want to be considered a big. He's made that very apparent that he does not want to be playing anything with a forward or center. So I would say, and that's why a guy like Cam Johnson fits, because of his size and his ability to shoot it. So I would say that's, in my opinion, that's probably the most pressing need.
Yeah, I'd say 4 isn't as it used to be for me, just because of Yabusele's emergence. But yeah, we could use a guy who can consistently knock down a shot, who's not a defensive liability. I like the Cam Johnson one. Another one I've seen a lot is people making a case for another big, just because Drummond's had his issues when he's on the court. We've been a little more inefficient when he's on the court. A big that can shoot would be great, like an Olnick. He can knock. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. That I didn't necessarily say forward.
Yeah,
center. I was just saying a big that can shoot it.
Yeah,
spread the court. So
another one too is, which I can make a case for, is playmaking point guard off the bench when Maxey sits. I know Jackson's given us good minutes, but I think Jackson's more of just a kind of a volume scorer in short spurts. I'd like a guy who can maybe get other players involved off the bench and, man the show, which leads me – it doesn't even have to be a trade. That could be a buyout. That could be a free agent. I know people have brought up Ben Simmons' name if he gets bought out. I had a question. It goes along with this topic. Why is Fultz still a free agent, Eric? Well, what do you think why Fultz is still a free agent?
I have no idea.
I don't get it.
I have no idea. Like, yes, he had the shooting issue, but the last few years he was playing for Orlando.
Yeah, he averaged 14 and 6 2 years ago.
So I don't know if it's he. I was told that his only offers were minimum. I don't know if that's he's turning that down and be like, hey, I'm not
not
playing for
play?
that.
That's
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I don't know. But I heard that maybe October. We had a tournament here, and I seen a lot of scouts and stuff that I knew. His name came up. And someone was I had one guy in particular tell me that he wouldn't get signed and he wasn't surprised. Told me that. So it's something going on there.
He's 26 still.
Yeah, it's something going on there. Like, and people don't even talk about it. Like,
no, I searched for his name really just to see like maybe there's some story that pops up that I just didn't know about.
Yeah,
and all the posts were, why the hell? I mean, we could use him. And all these teams fans saying, why don't we have Fultz? Why isn't Fultz on a roster? We could use him. Orlando fans are saying they love to have him back. They're like,
yeah, I mean, Orlando had all those injuries too, and he never came back. Like, which was pretty. I think it's pretty telling when the team that you were with don't bring you back.
Yeah,
that's kind of a. I don't know. I don't want to call it a red flag. But it usually hurts players. But it doesn't always hurt them as far as getting signed. It maybe hurts them as far as how much they sign for. But usually the guys still sign somewhere. Especially if you've been consistently playing in the league and you're a younger guy, you usually get signed. You usually get signed. But that's why I'm saying it's something else. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's shooting. I didn't pay attention enough to know if it's shooting. I'm sure it wasn't as bad as it was, but maybe got better because he was playing. He was still, like you said, he still averaged 14 points a couple seasons ago. So did he have a huge drop off last year?
I mean, he was playing less minutes. So yeah, his stats did drop comparatively because that year he had 14 and 6. He was playing almost 29 minutes a game. So that made sense. Last year he averaged 8, 3, and 3 in 20 minutes a game. So there's a drop, but it's also like 10 minutes a game less.
Yeah, I mean that's. I think Orlando not signing hurt his value.
Yeah,
but weird, I do know that supposedly he had minimum offers. I was told he had minimum offers, but I was also told a couple of those minimum offers were not guaranteed. So now that as we're having the conversation now, I do remember that it might have been he didn't have any guarantee money.
And so he's waiting for that to come around.
Go to camp and get released.
Which would make
it worse. Yes.
Yeah. So you'd rather just wait till the team's maybe desperate for a point guard help, and they'll throw guaranteed money at him. Because dude, I mean, with Orlando, I mean, he wasn't what he was supposed to be, but I mean, 4 straight seasons of double figures and high 5 assists a game, 5.5, 6 assists. Someone can use that off their bench, man. And he wasn't a bad defensive player either.
I mean, it's interesting because you look at like if Ben Simmons is bought out, like what's going to be his market? Since you brought that up,
I don't know.
That's what we're saying. Like we really don't know because it's not. I think people know what he's done and what he's probably capable of doing, but it's the trust factor.
I'd say a contender that doesn't necessarily need him is who will be his market.
No, I don't know.
A team that just wants to play.
That's like I said, as we've had the conversation, I kind of remember what I was told. But yeah, probably the most consistent was minimum offers that were non-guaranteed. But like I said, that was early October. The season might have just started, or it was, no, that was before the season started. Right? That tournament, I believe it was like the weekend before the season started, and his name came up.
It's weird. You don't usually see guys in their mid-20s who were averaging, double-digit points and 5, 6 assists a game, just still not rostered at this point of the season. But that would be a guy I would love to have. I'd love to have Fultz off the bench, man. That'd be great. if we get another shooter and you add Fultz, we have plenty of shooting around him. I mean, he doesn't need to hit threes. I don't think he's going to become a 3-point shooter at this point, but his free throws were rough last year. But before that, he had 4 straight seasons of like high 70s, low 80s.
Yeah.
So the free throw issue's gone. I don't know. Weird.
I mean, you're speaking a lot of Sixers fans' language, though. Fultz and Ben Simmons to bring those guys on for a title run. A lot of Sixers fans be on board with that.
Isn't it crazy? We're talking about 2 top picks in the draft. One's on the verge of maybe being bought out, and you don't even know what the market is. The other one is 26, and he's not rostered. Isn't that crazy? Like, we're talking about and guys who were like phenoms coming out.
Yeah.
It's wild, man.
Well, it tells you how much of a crapshoot the draft is, and that's why, like, when fans want to go right away to tank, it's like, oh, it's not a guarantee we're going to get someone who's going to be this blockbuster.
Yeah,
I think Simmons' case is even more like because Fultz, we never saw the elite side, and then he tailed off. Simmons, he was showing it. I mean, we were saying the other day, he's averaging like 6 points a game now. He was averaging like 17, 18. The Sixers.
He was all NBA.
He was like 17, like 8 and 8. Those are like Scottie Pippen.
I mean, the thing with Ben is you don't know how much is injuries, and you don't know how much is his just him. Because he was always questioned. It's not always questioned. His passion for the game was questioned, even when he was doing what he was doing. So you don't really know how much of it is injuries, and you never know. A guy that maybe wasn't as passionate about the game, and all of a sudden you got to fight through all those injuries. I mean, it's easier for guys to tap out a little bit, especially when you're getting the money you're getting.
Yeah, that's why it'll be really interesting to see once he's bought out and that like fat contract's gone. What will he do? Like, what kind of player will he be? Because I mean, he's not scoring a lot, but 5 rebounds and 7 assists a game. I heard he's top.
Depends on how a team want to use him. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if some teams use him as a point center. Like, it wouldn't surprise me. I don't know. I mean, it depends on what you have around him too.
Yeah. No, for sure. But I mean, if you just take he's pretty much the same stats, just add about like 10 points to his average, and he's where he was. He just doesn't have I've watched him play too. He just doesn't have the aggression when he goes to the hole. Like, he used to just like go and not think about it, but now he's just like he doesn't even try to do it anymore. Yeah.
Simmons did say last week, and it's just a tease ahead if he does get bought out. He did say that he always loved the city of Philadelphia, and he did not appreciate the fans enough when he was in Philly. And apparently, a couple months ago, remember Ramona Shelburne reported that he and Embiid have connected, and they've talked again. He's trying to patch up things. So who knows? It could be a nice little story, but we'll see what happens with that. And I know a lot of Sixers fans still have their Ben Simmons jerseys, so you can dust those things off if that does happen. But we'll see where that goes. But okay, so big weekend. We kind of teased it ahead. Big weekend of games for the Sixers. 2 nationally televised games, starting with tonight. We thought Embiid was going to be back for tonight's game, but no, we will not see a Jokic-Embiid game this year, at least in the regular season, unless both teams make the finals. So tonight, Sixers will be hosting the Denver Nuggets, and we are a 9-point underdog as of right now. Who do you guys have in this game, in this rematch from last week?
This one's tough without size. I think we do not win, but we cover. I think it's just going to be too much Joker for our lack of size and then inexperience. So I think that'll be the key to us not being able to prevail tonight.
Yeah, I think it's because we were in that game. I think Maxie talked about this too. They were in the game until I think the mid-third, and then Nuggets just blew wide open and we couldn't contend. I think we hang around longer than that. I think we hang around until the 4th, but I just think they kind of pull away a bit in the mid-late 4th. It's just too much for us. I mean, eventually you could play well with missing guys, but the amount of guys we're missing, it's going to show up. You're going to see the results from that. You can't. I mean, we're missing Martin, Drummond, George, and Embiid. I mean, it's a lot to overcome.
Yeah.
You can't shoot 45% from three every game,
They were hitting threes pretty big time on us last week. I remember Strother had like 6 threes against us.
Yes, that's true too. They were ridiculously hot against us that game.
Yeah.
But they've been playing poorly since then, right?
It's true.
So they're due for like an uptick in
last couple games, but it's been a road trip. You know what I'm saying? It's been a road trip for them. So
yeah, it's true.
So maybe we can knock them off too.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Chicago beat them, right? So if Chicago's beating them, we could definitely squeeze in there. And Yabusele has shown that in international play, he's kind of giving it to the Joker. So maybe bringing some of that French toughness to this game tonight. Maybe we can overcome some of the guys we're missing out this game.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And then Sunday, 6:00, the Sixers will be hosting the Celtics in a rematch of the Christmas Day Miracle. And a lot of Sixers fans are hypothesizing that the reason why Embiid and Caleb Martin are not playing tonight is because they are coming for that Celtics game on Sunday. Obviously, Caleb Martin, the Celtics stopper, Embiid, they both went off in that game against the Celtics on Christmas Day. So we could see a collection of our guys come back Sunday against the Celtics. So got kind of a 2 prediction there. If we don't have those guys on Sunday, and if we do have those guys on Sunday, how do you guys see Sunday unfolding?
Unfortunately, I see it the same way. I don't think we win either one. We played well last time we went to Boston. I think they'll be very aware of that, no matter who we have, especially if we don't have our full group. It's going to be an effort. I believe Drew Holiday didn't play that game last time we played him.
Yeah, he didn't play.
That's right.
So I believe it's already tough to play in Boston. We struggled there, but I do believe that they'll be more aware, very cautious of us because of what happened on Christmas Day. So that's why I think, either if guys play or don't, it's going to be a tough out for us.
Yeah, I think even if Embiid plays, we lose that game. I think it'll be more of a heartbreaker if he plays, but they definitely want to get back after that game, especially because we beat them like that in Boston. So they're going to want to come back with vengeance on this one. So, yeah, I don't think we win that one.
If Caleb Martin plays, though, I think we have as good chances as anybody against Boston. Something about that guy.
Really relying on that Caleb Martin energy, huh? I hope so.
Well, I find it funny because before the game the other day against the Kings, he was not going to play, and then they upgraded him to questionable. And then when game time came around, then he didn't play. So I thought naturally he would play tonight because if he was upgraded from out to questionable, he would play Friday. But they ruled him out yesterday. So that leads me to believe he's definitely going to play on Sunday, and then hopefully Embiid. I mean, Embiid's pregame.
I don't understand. You can't play Friday, but you play Sunday. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
We need 10-minute quarters there.
If you can play Sunday, you can try to play Friday. I just don't know how to do that. It's never.
And then ruling him out the day before too. I mean, at least let's wait till noon on Friday to see if he can give it a go. The day before is kind of a weird rule.
Unless he has some kind of setback. I don't know.
Hanging out with Embiid too much.
Oh, goodness.
Tej, you said something about 10 minutes. Eric, what do you think about the new thing that Adam Silver's kind of has thrown out there that they may go to 10-minute games to try to boost the NBA ratings? I mean, I don't think that. What are your thoughts on that?
So Adam Silver said that?
Yeah.
So how would the shorter time boost the ratings? Keep people's attention for longer?
Maybe.
I have no idea.
Make the games more competitive? I mean, you taking out 8 minutes of the game? You'll have more competitive games in a shorter amount of time. I don't know how much that would change the ratings and stuff. I mean, I know the players would be happier to play less. I don't think that solves your issue of guys sitting out. Still 40 minutes in the game. Like most of the guys don't play 40 minutes anyway, so you're taking out 8 minutes of.
You're really taking out the minutes for reserves because those guys will still play their 32.
That's what I'm saying. They still gonna play around the same amount of minutes.
Yeah, it's true.
So now they'll play instead of playing 30. You know, most of the guys that play a lot of minutes are playing around 36, 37, or 35 to 34 to 38. So now they'll probably play more because those games will be tighter. I mean, they'll probably play the same amount of minutes. Those games will be tighter.
Yeah, it would only work if they adjusted it by percentages. So if a guy played like 85% of the game, they adjusted for him to play 85% of the game of like a 40-minute game now. So if he played like 35 minutes, he'll play like 31 minutes now.
Yeah, but that's my thing. Like when guys start seeing those numbers go down, that'll change.
Yeah.
Because you say it's 85% of the game, but you still had those points in 35 minutes.
I know.
So now all of a sudden you're saying you're going to get those same percentages in 31 minutes?
Yeah. No. Well, yeah, it won't happen.
It's going to be fewer possessions. It's a lot to consider with that.
It is a lot.
So when you see a drop in the players, you see a drop in those numbers, you're going to see a drop. I mean, that's why it's a reason why college don't score like the NBA because it's 8 less minutes.
Yep.
So it'd be interesting to see if they do that. Do you change what other rules you change because of that?
Yeah, it's not going to stop the 3-point. I mean, I know everyone's complaining about the amount of threes are being taken. That's not going to stop either. I mean, just shortening the game doesn't stop that.
He said a 2-hour format is for a game is more consistent with modern television habits.
Shorten the game. Well, I mean, some of that is starting the game on time.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, that's true.
So if the game starts at 7 p.m., have it start at 7 p.m. So do your warm-ups and everything at 6:50. So we don't have to turn it on and wait till 7:10 and 7:15 to start.
He said also awarding 2 free throws to shooters who are fouled on a 3-point attempt was mentioned. That's interesting.
What does that mean?
If a guy gets fouled on a 3-pointer, he'll only shoot 2 free throws, not 3.
Oh, that's ugly. I don't like that. End of the game, guy shoot a 3, and you down 3, you foul him. Shooter, he only get 2. Like, I don't like that at all.
Yeah. Yeah. The article is saying the same exact thing we just said. It wouldn't change the vast majority of starters' minutes. The end of bench players would just get their minutes cut out.
Yeah. Yes.
It would just screw them, which would, would you shorten your rosters because you don't even need all these guys to play if they're not going to play at all, right? Yeah.
And that'll be interesting to see if they do that.
And also like career statistics too, records and whatnot, that would also impact that as well. Like 8 less minutes in games.
Oh, that don't matter. I mean, it matters to people now, but I'm just saying it's a lot of things to help enhance numbers right now that guys that played a long time ago don't have. So
that's true.
Guys a long time ago didn't have a 3-pointer. They have it now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They didn't always have a shot clock. They have it now. So it's a lot of things that, as the game evolves, that helps people more as far as career numbers. So that can't be a deterrent because that's just a part of the evolution of the game.
That's true. It's a good point.
They want to speed it up. It's funny. He's comparing the timing to Olympic basketball. You want to speed the game up. Why don't you call the game closer to Olympic basketball is called and not as many foul calls?
Well, I mean, you can't. The only way you can do that is you have to change. You have to go to true FIBA rules. Yeah. That's what I don't know if the NBA wants to do that. Like you go to FIBA rules, and then but then think about FIBA rules, you go to FIBA rules, and you take out things like illegal defense. It's going to be so hard for teams to score when people can just sit in the paint all day.
Yeah,
the scoring is going to go down, not up.
Well, I guess they would have to adapt all adopt all FIBA rules, right? They could do like a hybrid version of it.
I'm just saying the FIBA is the more of an international rule. So that's the rule that everybody go by. Not maybe the different leagues have their own rules, but I'm just saying the FIBA rules are the rules that when you play international country-to-country ball, that's what they use.
Yeah.
So I Bleav that they would go towards that more so than a direction away from that, because that's where I think if you're gonna have you want to probably have more of a unified front at the end of the day, because they can talk all this stuff, but it's still about the mighty dollar. You have a unified front. The more you have a unified front, the more you can start having the NBA play or NBA Europe or play teams from
that's true.
Europe.
Yeah.
So the only way you can do that is have a unified rule base. In my opinion, that's where all of this is heading. If they're going that route.
Yeah.
Because part of the issue with playing, that's what, like in the Olympics, is the rules are so different.
Yeah.
That's why, our guys getting over there is different. That's why guys that may not have as much success in the league, and all of a sudden they can have more success against NBA players with their teams because the rules are different. Also, the court is smaller.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that. The court is smaller in the FIBA and the Olympics and stuff like that than it is an NBA court. So that helps teams because it definitely helps teams in the Olympics against the USA.
The rules are definitely hurting Embiid because he wasn't getting those touch fouls. He wasn't getting the rip throughs anymore. They weren't calling that garbage.
Yeah. But guys will adjust.
Yeah, no, of course.
If that's what it is. But I'm just saying it would be different for guys collectively. But they are the best, so they will adjust.
TV habits. What does that mean? Just people that just don't have attention spans anymore? Is that what that means?
No, just what people tend to tune out after that.
Yeah.
Kind of get used to how long it takes for a game to last.
Yeah, but I do think a big part of it is starting games on time. It was 7 o'clock start time, start at 7, not 7:10. Yeah. That's a big thing. That's 10 minutes right there. So
shorten the review process, man. How about that?
My thing is, it's not like they don't show the lineups and they don't do any of that stuff. They just talk.
Yeah.
But they should do the talking before, like start the game on time. So.
Yeah. We'll see what happens with that. I know Silver's been throwing around a bunch of different things here to try to boost ratings, but time will tell with all that stuff. But that does it for us, guys. Hope everybody enjoyed this episode of Bleav in 76ers. We will see you guys next week as we prepare for NBA trade deadline because it's coming. It's coming. Second half of the season is on the way. But I hope everybody has a good weekend.
All right,
guys. Yep. Later on.